this is one of those cards where you may feel like there may be something going on behind the scenes that you're not really sure of. You know, it's one of those cards that tells you that you need to get rid of untrustworthy people that may be in your environment. It also is talking about needing to work with shielding, protection. And I feel more though, like, even though you may feel like there's something around you that may be negative, it's just saying that, you know, there's nothing wrong with you calling out for help if you need it, whether it's from your guides or from people you trust. But it is telling you that you need to watch out for untrustworthy people and get them out of your space. Now, impartiality is saying that you need to take a different view on your situation. It is about putting yourself in the shoes of the other. But it's also saying that you need to let things unfold naturally. So the other part of this is, you know, it's kind of like the high priestess energy where you need to observe the situation before you decide to do anything. But I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe you need to see your situation differently. You might not have something going on behind the scenes, but for some reason you feel that way. But again, there's nothing wrong with, you know, getting the backup and the help that you need, right? Especially if you feel vulnerable. And again, you know, working with shielding techniques and things like that to feel a little bit protected. All right, Taurus, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Yeah. And that might be why you guys are feeling like you need to call for help. The Five of Swords is no good. Bullshit conflict. Some of you may be being pulled into a situation that may not even have anything to do with you. I kind of feel that way too, looking at the Five of Swords. But, you know, it is miscommunications though as well. There's no truth there. It's all ego. Things may be said that aren't true. You know, I don't know. I kind of get the feeling that maybe somebody is saying something that they don't mean, basically, with the Five of Swords. But it is bullshit conflict and getting pulled into a situation that, again, you know, some of you may not even have anything to do with here. Now, in the past, the Eight of Cups. Now, you know, the conflict may be surrounding the fact that some of you may have walked away from something here. The Eight of Cups is about moving on emotionally before we do physically, which basically means that, you know, emotionally you're done, but have you really walked away yet? Now, on the other hand, if you're like investing emotions into something that is no good for you, then yeah, I can understand why there's a need for you to walk away, but have you done it? And if you haven't, is it just creating more conflicts surrounding you? You know, and this could be anything here with the Eight of Cups. You know, you could be leaving a job or you could be leaving a relationship, something that, you know, you're needing to walk away from. Now, the word abandonment that is attached to this card, right? Like, it's hard for us to just walk away from something if we're feeling like we're just abandoning it. But for some of you, it's just simply needing to stop feeding emotions into something that you know is not the truth. You know, again, it's bullshit conflict, and that worries me a little bit. And in the present, the Six of Coins. So what are you receiving out of this situation? You know, this to me is not an equal give and take situation here, not looking at the Five of Swords as a signifier, and I worry about what you feel like you're receiving out of this situation. You know, and for some of you, this may be, you know, where it starts to kick in here that maybe you really should just walk away from the situation. If it's going to continue to cause you problems, I don't feel the equal give and take in this. You know, to me, that's one-sided. End of story. You know, and for some of you, you're just questioning, what am I truly receiving out of this? Why am I continuing to put so much effort, emotional effort at that, into something that is not fulfilling me anymore? You know? Future conditions, the Eight of Wands. Now, you know, we're talking about fast-moving energy here, but then also, you know, this could be a situation where you're wanting shit to move quickly, like right now, let's get through this and move on. Now, on the other hand, this does have to do with communication, but again, it's communication that's done in a way that is like one-sided. You know, like maybe somebody is saying something here that they don't mean to say, but they're doing it anyway. And it may have to do with, you feeling like you need to walk away. I almost feel like with the Eight of Wands, you kind of move into a situation here where, the communication is going to start to pick up. But as long as that Five of Swords is still there, it's going to be all miscommunication. Like, I don't think that, the right things are going to be said here. Now, on the other hand, for some of you, this may be movement. This may be travel. This may be quick movement away too from this situation. But we'll see how that plays out. Your best path to follow, the Queen of Wands. And I like this energy in terms of Taurus. It's not Earth, but the Queen of Wands is pretty good. Being a little bit more confident in yourself and more confident in your ability to handle the situation. But then on the other hand too, like, I feel like it's going to be up to you to step up in terms of this situation. It's weird because it almost has like a Five of Wands feeling between the two. You still have this conflict. But, I feel like there is a possibility here for you to get control over what is happening, not just within the miscommunication. Sorry, guys, like, I can't even talk doing this. But, getting control over what is happening in your life, right? I don't feel like, there's a lot of balance when it comes to the communication that's happening. And I'm still like, well, what the hell? Clearly this is something that you're wanting to walk away from. In your environment, the Page of Cups. Now, for some of you, you may be dealing with some emotional immaturity, I think is the best way to say it. So if you're dealing with a person here, I'm looking at somebody that is just feeding you a bunch of nonsense with the Five of Swords. There is a need for you to walk away from this. I don't feel like this is, a new emotional experience that you're giving into here. I think that what you're receiving out of this is not exactly what you thought it was going to be. And it sucks. But I do feel like, the communication that's coming through is not from somebody who knows how they feel, and that may be the miscommunication in itself, like, not being able to accurately communicate your emotions, whether it's you or another person you're dealing with. But this to me is suggesting emotional immaturity in the situation. Man. Okay, so your hopes and your fears. Now, if you are dealing with a difficult situation, if you're in like arguments within whatever relationship, the Knight of Coins here is saying that there's a need for you to move forward with a little bit of caution. Now, the Knight of Coins, I like in terms of, your energy anyway. Moving forward a little bit more slowly, being a little bit more cautious with the things that are being said. But then not only that, but the Knight of Coins is looking at the long term. This isn't something that you need to move through quickly, right? Like the slow and steady wins the race, right? I just feel like seeing this here, you're looking at the long term and long-term growth. Because, you're still open here. It's like you're still open to receive, but everything seems to be one-sided. And it may be because there is the miscommunication based on emotions. And the Knight of Coins is just saying that you need to take this slow and work through this. This isn't something that you can move quickly through, and again, it is looking at the long term. But I don't know. I do feel like that for a lot of you, you need to tap into this energy right here with the Queen of Wands and getting control over what is going on, I don't know, but this is a situation that definitely you need to stop feeding into emotionally here with the Eight of Cups. You have to stop doing that, especially if you're dealing with somebody who is not communicating the way that they feel in a positive way. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I kind of get a Five of Wands feel. Like, but it has the potential to turn into something that is going to create more conflict than what, should really be there. Because I'm not seeing anything like really super negative surrounding this. to me, it almost looks like somebody is not, like really communicating the way that they feel in the right way. And for some of you, you may be dealing with arguments because you're in a situation that isn't equal, Oh, wow. And this to me is perfect for Taurus. So the Empress. Now, definitely the Empress can represent the mother figure or an important female to you that you may be dealing with. And there may be a lot of miscommunication that's going on here. Now, on the other hand, in terms of your energy, Taurus, I already see that as you. The Empress, I think, is perfect. And I do think that what it's saying is that coming out for Taurus, you're going to have to be a little bit more nurturing when it comes to dealing with people that don't know how to communicate how they feel. Especially if you're in a relationship where there may be like a lot of arguments and a lot of unnecessary fighting here with the Five of Swords. But it's all miscommunication. I'm not seeing anything here that's suggesting that somebody is doing anything harmful. And it goes back to impartiality. Like maybe needing to see things from the other perspective here. And it may not be that somebody's intentionally trying to cause conflict. Maybe it's just that they can't communicate directly the way that they feel, the way that they need to, But with the Empress, I feel like, you get a little bit more comfortable. When I'm looking at the Empress, I'm looking at, somebody who is able to enjoy the things that they have in their life. There's comfort and beauty there. There's giving birth to new ideas. I think the Empress is perfect for Taurus. Anyway, but I do think that ultimately, and going back to this feeling here, you're going to have to be a little bit more nurturing when it comes to this situation. But the communication is off. It is off. And it's based on emotions and emotional immaturity. This could represent having to deal with a child, though, too, looking at the Empress in the page. Now, on the other hand, again, when we're looking at it in terms of relationships, and this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Again, this could be like parent-child, right? It just depends. But I'm not seeing anything super negative. I don't suggest moving quickly through this type of energy. The Knight of Coins is like, what can we do to continue growth? Let's stick with what we know here. Impartiality is saying that you need to see it from the other person's shoes. I just simply think that there may be miscommunication of emotions. I worry about the Five of Swords because it has the potential to get out of hand. And again, you need to stop feeding in emotions to this, And then on the other hand, though, that Eight of Coins coming through, it's almost like, maybe this is something that you do need to walk away from if we can't get the communication on the right path. You know what I mean? Ultimately, you come out with the Empress, so you look good either way. It's just this bothers me. All right, Taurus, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. And then I'll be pulling for you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and pull one from Whispers of Love and one from the Romance Angels for you guys. Intention, live from your heart, and magic. So maybe needing to set some better intentions, right? And not only that, but looking at the intentions of the people that are around you. What is your intention? What is their intention? And then live from your heart. And that kind of goes back to the feeling of the Empress here, where, there needs to be a little bit more of a nurturing kind of feeling around the situation. It's one of those things where, like, if you're dealing with somebody that is a fool, and I don't mean that as the fool in the tarot sense, like acting like a fool, right? Like maybe you just need to be a little bit more kind to them. But then again, that can be hard to do when you're dealing with the Five of Swords type energy. Now, magic. Seeing the magic in life, the magic in the situations, right? This is kind of a reminder that, this kind of situation isn't going to last forever, right? But, you know, maybe things can change when you and the other person set some better intentions here and start living from a space of love rather than of conflict, you know. And then maybe that's where the magic starts to open up here for you guys. It's a little bit rough. A little bit rough. All right. I'm going to be pulling one from Whispers of Love first for you guys. Treasure your loved ones. It's important to love others deeply. So, you know, again, it kind of goes back to that feeling of needing to be a little bit more nurturing, you know. But it's important to treasure the people that you love. I mean, even if this is apart from a relationship situation here, you know, the people that actually give a shit about you and what you're doing, you know, they're the ones that you want to keep in your life, right? And it's important to show them that you do care, that, you know, they're supporting you and that they're there for you. All right, now, the romance angels. Oh, wow. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. And then you have past life relationship. You have known each other before. And this may be, you know, a situation here where somebody's got to be released. Oh boy. Now, usually when I see past life relationship, I look at, you know, the color of her dress to me reminds me of like the star for some reason, like needing to heal a relationship, you know, that may have past life. I don't know. I kind of feel like there needs to be some healing, but then there needs to be a release though too. It's weird, Taurus, like, you know, this may be, and then the other thing too is like karmic debt, right? Like karmic debt relationships. If you've dealt with this relationship before in a past life, you know, maybe it's time to just release this nonsense, you know, instead of feeling like you need to go back. Oh my goodness, Taurus. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at this and I feel like for some of you, you're going to be looking at communication that's coming through ultimately here. And it's going to be misdirected for sure, but it's going to be based off emotional immaturity. You know, and you're going to be left feeling like this is a one-sided situation. You know, and again, the Knight of Coins is saying that you need to move forward with a little bit of caution, but then also it's almost like you need to be the bigger person here. I mean, between the two, yeah, right? Especially if you want to get to that feeling of the Empress. You know, you don't want to be the unhappy mama and saying stuff too that you don't mean.